morning. For those who are just joining us, welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka. We got some very interesting stories still coming your way, so you're not that late yet on a Thursday. And it's been 100 years, but still people are fascinated because on its maiden voyage, ironically, she was dubbed as the unsinkable ship. And on its maiden voyage, never made it to the final destination, which was New York City. We're talking about RMS Titanic. And if you haven't heard yet, in celebration, also in line with 100 years since the ill-fated sail of the Titanic, the movie that starred Leonardo DiCaprio and, of course, Kate Winslet is now out again, but this time on 3D. So if you want to have a feel of the iceberg actually hitting your face, I'm kidding about that part. I'm not actually sure how much of 3D the iceberg will be. You might want to check it out. And some people are wondering if extra $20 is worth seeing an iceberg come to life. But anyway, on a serious note, a number of artifacts are set to be auctioned, and we have a very special look at the actual remains of the ship that will go under the auctioneer's hammer. So check this out. Yes, and for the first time ever, 5,500 artifacts from the RMS Titanic are being sold at auction 100 years after the ship's maiden voyage. New York-based auction house Gertie will be offering the complete collection of objects found in the shipwreck 2.5 miles below the ocean's surface. Data and videos from numerous recovery and fact-finding missions will accompany the artifacts in the sale. Some of the items include 3D images of the ship, video of the dives, and the first and only comprehensive survey map of the wreck site. This auction is considered one of the most significant and comprehensive sales of Titanic material. Scientists believe the ship's remains are eroding and that this collection could very well be all that will remain of the Titanic in years to come. An appraisal of the collection was listed at $189 million US, and the one key is that the new owner needs to keep some portion of the items together on display so that the people, the public, we could get to see it. The Titanic Preservation Trust will receive a portion of the funds from the sale in order to continue preserving the artifacts. And the auction is taking place, it's actually taking place today at the Intrepid Museum in New York City, nearly 1 mile from where the Titanic was supposed to dock upon her arrival 100 years ago. But sadly, as we all know, the ship didn't make it. So you're watching photos, some of what remains of the Titanic. And it's very interesting to note that the movie is out, and I might just want to check it out on 3D. Of course, a movie that also swept the Oscars when it was released 15 years ago. And, well, if you're wondering, no, the portrait that was drawn by Jack of Rose wearing the heart of the ocean, if I'm mistaken, is not part of the auction. Just in case you're wondering why, because that's a piece of fiction, I think. So there you go. And also, something that you might want to check out, there are apparently some extra scenes and some scenes that have been deleted 15 years ago from the original movie Titanic. They had somehow made their way back to this version. So something also to check out. There are some very minute details, but if you're a very big fan of Jack, because I remember, or Rose and their story, because I remember 15 years ago there was a girl from Switzerland who got to see the movie some 50 times, and she said it's not because of Leonardo DiCaprio, it was because of Jack. She was in love with Jack and not Leonardo DiCaprio. So you might just get to notice these little subtle differences from the original and the 3D version of Titanic. And of course, you'll get to still hear My Heart Will Go On. Okay, before we end today's program, especially if you've been very, very busy nowadays and you haven't had time to make those traditional sweets that go with the celebration, well, we got Nirmalini Rajapaksa, who will be taking us through recipes, who have been taking us through recipes of Mungkabun on Mongol so far. Well, here she is, teaching us how to make the atirasa on GMSL.
Now I'm going to show you how to make atiraha. It is also called hendikam. The basic ingredients are rice flour, kitul treacle, sugar, thick coconut milk, cumin seed, scraped coconut, pip of garlic, 1 pepper seed, a pinch of salt and saffron. First we add the rice flour. When all the ingredients are ready, we have to just stir it so that it becomes a fairly to a dropping consistency. Now this is the batter that I have made. So now I'll show you how atiraha is made. Actually, we have to add a teaspoon of the batter into the frying pan. Now this is the atiraha I have made. It's also called handicap. It's so easy to make it and so delicious. So I'm sure all of you all will decide to prepare this for all your friends and relations.
There we go. Very easy to make that atiraha. Pardon my pronunciation, like what I mentioned earlier. I may not know how to properly pronounce them, but I think the better deal is I know how to eat them. And I look forward to invitations and to partake as to the celebration of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, which actually falls tomorrow. So there we go. Hope you figure out a way how to make a tiraha just before the New Year celebration. And I would like to wish everyone a happy Sinhala and Tamil New Year. I'll try to say it tomorrow with proper pronunciation. And also, actually I can say, Suba Alut Arula Hueva to everyone. And we are at the tail end of the program. Have a great Thursday, everyone, and I'll see you back here tomorrow as we celebrate the New Year together. Take care.